In our first bout of this afternoon, we have a matchup between Belarus and France. First up, in the white corner, with the white pieces representing Belarus, please welcome Dzmitry Yermakovich.
We draw the pieces. Every time there will be a draw for white or black. We don't know which one's white, which one's black.
And his opponent in the opposite corner, representing France. Give it up for Guirlet.
Dzmitry Yermakovich from Belarus is playing with white pieces.
Seconds out from the first chess round.
And they're off.
We have a d4 opening.
It's going to be either a King's Indian or some kind of Grunfeld. So King's Indian it shall be.
And it looks like
Very
a queen's gambit for white.
But white hasn't advanced the pawn all the way to e4 and grabbed the whole center. It's kind of a bit of a timid variation of the King's Indian. Maybe he doesn't want something too theoretical. He wants to keep things open. Knight c6 is a natural move. He's going to try and, you know, take a piece of that center himself. A3 and e5. Okay, these are reasonable moves. Obviously, a quality game from both, as could be expected. Dzmitry is about 1900, and Leo is probably a little bit under that, but he's training a lot. He's trying to get up. He's a history teacher by trade.
Strong center, seizing space in the middle there. White with a lot of space.
Yeah, this is a natural follow-up in this type of closed structure. Now, this is not only the King's Indian defense, but the King's Indian structure. And this kind of pawn lever is where you're going to get all the dynamics of the position. You could take with a knight, you could take with the pawn and keep the center. The knight is aiming at that d4 square. Does he want to jump there, or is he just tempting the bishop to take it? If the bishop comes off the board, that bishop is kind of it's difficult to qualify it because it's on the light squares as his pawn, so it's like a bad bishop, but it's also the one aiming at the black king. But the e4 square is a very important strategic knight f6, covering up into position. And we'll see just how annoying that bishop will be, and if the pin will knight e4. That's nice. It's natural to try and grab that square and occupy that square with a knight. And now black's bishop. Oh, I would
liquidating.
He is liquidating, but that bishop, that dark square bishop, as long as it can be strong, but when the knight's on e4, it's closed in. It's kind of a dead piece. Whereas the knight on e4 is actually kind of holding the position together. So that's kind of a little bit of an odd choice for me. And here I would have actually maneuvered my other knight to go back to that e4 square.
There's the 10-second warning. We're nearing the end of this first chess round. And there's the bell. Impending the first round of this semifinal matchup between Belarus and Russia. Belarus and France. And reminder, in this format, we typically have 1 minute of transition between the board and the ring, and that minute is not just logistical to put on and off gloves, but also to manage state change, to upregulate, get the heart rate going, so that you're not coming into the boxing round cold, and after the boxing round, trying to downregulate, lower the heart rate, and get ready for chess. Here we have the gloves on, the Iranian referee giving instruction in the center of the ring. Stadium starting to rev up. Team France cheering on their countrymen. Seconds out. And we're underway. Starting out with a jab is France, circling around the outside. A nice punch landed by Belarus, a right hand. A left hand to the body landed for Belarus. France up against the ropes. Instruction to keep the head up.
Yermakovich from Belarus, he has real pro boxing training. I mean amateur of course, but like real boxing training. So
a nice slip and hook to the body around the outside. He has France on the ropes. France pivoting around the outside back to space. Second warning for keeping the head up. A nice slip cross for France, responded to by the Belarusian. A right hand lands upstairs for Belarus. France defending, circling back to space. A roll and counter. A right hand to the body. France holding on, defending, doing his best to counter. Belarus with the Frenchman up against the ropes again, now in the corner. Ooh, a jab for France, getting back to space. The Belarusian dominating the center of the ring, pushing France into another corner. France avoiding many of the big shots landing, still many getting through for Belarus. A nice counter right from France. And you can see the power of the Belarusian, even when a punch is blocked, stumbling France. Trade of jabs. France opting mostly to counterpunch here and keep his guard up. Starting to see fatigue set in towards the end of this round. Nice jab. And now the Belarusian with a combination in the corner. France trying to escape back to space. Ooh, a wild punch is punished by Belarus. And there's the end of the round. Gloves coming off, both fighters breathing heavily. Incredible round from Belarus, getting the edge with more punches landed, and France doing well to counterpunch when available.
I must say I'm kind of proud of Leo in that round of boxing, sticking up for himself like that.
All right, headgear coming back on, ear protection, trying to drown out the noise of this crowd, stay focused on the board, and to prevent any potential coaching from corners or the crowd. And there's the bell, we're back underway. Carl, what do you think of this position?
it's double-edged swordery, isn't it? Oh, he's actually taking a stab at the queen side now, which is an interesting take. Found some new activity there. Normally, this is traditionally the pawn that's most advanced is where you're going to take your action. So white should advance on the queen side and black should advance on the king side. But this is a little bit the trouble that Leo's having, is that because he didn't take back on f5 with that pawn, and instead where the knight is now, he doesn't really have anything going for him. He can only take a stab at squares. Now this is probably the best attempt, but he also has to be a little bit careful about his king. Attacking on the side of the castle on the same side. I still think the black king is safer on that g7 square rather than it being on the queen side where it would be attacked even more. So it's
by the pawn advance.
It might look out in the open, but actually it's a closed position, so the nature of the position permits for this. For me, this is the biggest concern. This e4 square for the knight. In the first round, he was not getting that. He did it, and then he exchanged it against the bishop. Now he's remaneuvered that knight back to e4. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And now he has the clamp on the queen side plus the knight on e4. He's doubling up just to overprotect that e4 square. But
and a brilliant four coming in on d4.
Exactly, played a little too fast. But he mustn't get hot-headed because of the nature of the position. Will the rooks actually manage to get into play? There's not many open files, and that knight on e4 is probably worth a rook, right? This is what we have to understand.
That's right, over a minute advantage for black.
So black, I would consider him doing the better job at the moment. I would be more confident with black, but not even trying to win, but probably just keeping the pressure up and running the time down.
A lot of pieces coordinating over on that king side for white.
Queen d2 very naturally wants to get in there, but all the squares are covered, and the knight, as well as it's placed, is cutting off his own bishop. That's a very speculative and strange.
Very strange move, moving into a discover check.
Yeah. That's obviously boxing taking its toll. I mean, that's an illegal move.
First illegal move for black. And reminder for those at home, illegal moves count as stoppages. So the same way a stoppage would count in boxing, these illegal moves count in chess. 3 in a round, 4 in a fight will end the fight. We are nearing the end of this round. And there's the bell. So right there at the end, Belarus equalizing the material advantage that black was enjoying from just a blunder king move into a discover check when it was discovered, able to attack a rook for free, and that also scored the first illegal move against France. So there we have it, a move that normally a 1700, 1800 level player would never make, boxing having its effect on the board.
This is the nature of the game, and people really, I mean, the high-level players that are watching us, please, you really have to understand, these blunders, they my best, I was like a 23-50 player. I gave a rook yesterday just out of nowhere. Like, I thought it was checkmate on the board. It's like, what the hell is happening?
That's right.
And it's like reality is just crumbling.
And I was speaking with some of the New York City Chessboxing members last night. One of them was saying, that's cringe-worthy. I think I could come to the World Championship with a 1500 level and be fine. No, sir.
Please come.
And we're back on the way with the boxing. A big right hand later for the Belarusian. Another. A nice slip counter for France, staying composed, circling, trying to stay away from these Belarusian weapons. Another right hand lands for Belarus. A really nice counter right cross has landed multiple times for Belarus. Now with France with one of his own.
I feel like he's found his pace a little better.
Belarus going back to his primary weapon, that counter right hand. Anytime France starts to have any momentum, that right hand stifles it.
Resilience is the name of the game.
And now to the body is the Belarusian. A jab from France, but now in a corner, covering up and circling back to space.
A nice variety of jabbing and slipping is keeping him out of danger for the most part. He's taking a lot of damage. He's resilient enough to take it.
France's defense is commendable, but not enough to keep the Belarusian at bay. So far, fairly one-sided for significant strikes landed. Most of France's punches are jabs to get back to space and establish some sort of distance. Otherwise, the Belarusian is crowding him, landing punches on the inside, and that nice overhand right landing again. An inside lead uppercut lands for the Belarusian. A right hand lands for France. A nice jab from France, getting space back. Can he keep him away? Can he start to claw his way back? Maybe find some sort of opportunity to turn this round around.
Trading punches.
This is just a game of cat and mouse. The Belarusian is hunting. And the first stoppage of the round, of the whole fight, scored by the Belarusian from a lack of defense from France and response, just stepping backwards and continuing to eat shots.
But considering it's the only one, he's probably happy to have it. I mean, he's getting
a little time to recover, and there's the 10-second warning. So it looks like France will survive this round. Another right hand lands for Belarus right before the bell, and there we have it. Second boxing round in the books, and these men will remove their gloves and make their way back to the board.
What you have to understand is in chess boxing, a lot of human qualities can compensate for some some flaws in your technique, and you know, you might, in a normal boxing match, we would say, but that was very one-sided. But in a chess boxing match, it's like resilience is the name of the game. So that was actually really well fought by the French fighter.
Staying alive, he's not going to win boxing rounds. What he needs to do is mitigate damage, get to space, try to reserve his energy for the chessboard where he has his best chances.
I had a whole career doing that.
You're the master of that.
I'm the master of that. 50 seconds left for White.
That's right, White in significant time trouble. Look for that to be the win condition for France.
And so the fact that the bishops are on the same color does say a lot, because if it was opposite color bishops, it would probably be a dead draw. But so the bishop on d7, which is the blockading piece, he is able maybe to find a route to try and trade that, and so for the pawn to become strong. But in 43 seconds, I doubt he will find the effective way. And even if he does, will he be able to mate in that time? Again, very doubtful.
That's right, and the quicker that France is able to move, the more pressure is put onto White. White, considering his options, moving through candidate moves, and White has a great advanced pawn on the 6th rank. That could be the win condition for White.
Chance, he just missed his last chance. He could have taken the pawn with the rook and traded, and not try to keep that d6 pawn, but rather go for the attack to the king. Because it's the only thing that's going to work now is a very direct attack to the king.
Great analysis.
He just doesn't have time to transform. Technique takes time, and it takes very precise calculation. So my money's on black at this point. That being said, black is taking a lot more time, trying to be careful, and the queen is coming in now. Will it be with devastating effects? Again, probably not, but a blunder can happen quickly. Or maybe a draw by repetition is also a possibility.
That's right. 20 seconds remain for black. A nice check from White.
And he will win on points in the boxing if that is the case. But black knows that only too well. So he might sacrifice his queen, at the very last few seconds.
Which you were doing in your match yesterday. Throwing pieces away to use time, make him think.
That's an illegal move.
Second illegal move by France. Check after check coming for white.
It's actually, yeah, now it's a repetition by force, no? Yeah, now it's true.
We haven't gotten the call yet. It might not be a threefold repetition because it is a new position.
It's a draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 3 seconds left, Belarus able to score a threefold repetition, which means that this match will go to the judges' scorecard in boxing.
He did everything right. He was resilient enough. The chess was great.
Official decision to come shortly, but the writing is on the wall. A clear advantage in the boxing for Belarus, and the judges' scorecards are incoming.
But that kind of counterintuitive thinking does happen when you're under a lot of pressure. You can sometimes find the only way to lose a completely otherwise winning position. My heart goes out to Leo, but we can only give it up to Dzmitry to have found that last resource.
And in the white corner with the white pieces, winning by threefold repetition, and on the judges' scorecard, a unanimous decision. In the white corner with the white pieces representing Belarus, Dzmitry Yermakovich.
Bravo to him.
An excellent match, using every resource at his disposal to come away with that decision.
For me, it's especially about that very last resource. That's what, because we know that he's a better boxer. That's not where, that's not what's spectacular.
And it's a great showcase of our sport. In any other situation in the chess world, that would be a win for black. However, in chess boxing, the way to find that threefold repetition and knowing that he was up in boxing and that was his only win condition, really heads up play by Belarus.